All right, Gene,
It's Friday.
we already got them filing in. We're
Yes.
talking Biolabs, Mount Rushmore, the
Yes.
housing situation. We're
You
talking
cannot beat this
tonight.
Friday. You
So
cannot
share
beat this Friday.
That's right. Share this thing all over the place. We got Phil, we got Tracy's here, Debbie's here. By the way, Tracy, we hear that it was you, and your Cubs hat is the reason why the Mets just fired the manager, Carlos Mendoza. So
Yes.
take a bow, I guess.
Yes, we will be making a play to buy that hat. So when the Mets win the World Series next year, or maybe even this year.
Tracy says, hello from Cheyenne Mountain.
Tracy, you got to stick around for this one. I know you always do, but we're going there for all of these. We have Biolabs, like Dave said, socialism.
Now
stuff.
listen. Let me just dispel a couple of things real fast. Number one, there's not going to be any kind of a world peace golden age where everything, all debts are forgiven. You're not going to have heaven on earth without the Lord Jesus Christ. You have to understand that. That's not going to happen. So anybody telling you that you're entering the golden age. No, it was the golden age of Hollywood. You can have that. I don't know what kind of a golden age that was. There was a golden age back in they called it the Gilded Age back in the 1930s, right?
Right. Guys.
But there's not going to be, look, I'm just trying to lay out there for Christians, don't get sucked into that whole thing where you get all the benefits of heaven without Christ, because that's not happening.
Right. And the other thing about it, guys, it's like part of this is like when things are actually happening, it's not enough. I'll give you an example with this whole thing with the medbed thing. We've been covering that there's real medical things going on, real stuff that are going on, and it's good. It's just not what you guys have in mind. The other thing is with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, there's good things in play. It's just that it's not exactly what you think is the wonderful thing that's going to happen. Things are being put in place. They are. It's just
now the next thing is, Gene. So we got past that real quick, and just one more point. This whole notion that we're under the rule of the British Empire, that comes from people who do not know what happened during the American Revolution and afterwards, and also from people who have no clue and just follow. I don't know how you can follow these people. We fought the American Revolution and punched the British in the nose that they had to run back across the Atlantic. Okay, we have the documents and everything that the British surrendered. That's it. They're out. Then they tried to come back again in 1812 because they figured the nation was young and unexpected, and we had some, financial difficulties or whatever it was, and they figured they'd come back over here and take us over. Matter of fact, that time they burned down the White House. However, that time it took God sending a massive hurricane, read your history, that crushed the British invasion. And the Lord blessed this nation. We were able to send them back a second time for a second surrender. They haven't tried again. So we are not under the British Empire at all. At all. So that's all an obnoxious thought.
Guys, some of these guys, we all love a great conspiracy theory, but some of them are so bonkers that if you have to, go to your someone that you know and try to explain what we're talking about that you guys all know. It's like entering a world that's like, really? So Hillary was really executed at a Gitmo, so that's not her? When she testified in front of Congress, they just brought in an actor to To talk, yes, absolutely. What happened is that's just an actor. She was already executed a long time ago. Gimel. Try explaining this to like a regular person that you meet at Walmart. Just try. It's like,
right.
guys.
And listen. I know everybody wants to say, well, they're the normies. Okay, but you have to understand something. This whole gang that thinks of these things, and Gene and I were talking about it earlier. It's like, let's say you went to, you're a Weezer fan. You're a fan of the band Weezer, right? So you go to a concert and you're surrounded by other fans of the band Weezer. And then you walk outside, you're on the street, and you say to some random person, isn't Weezer, man, Weezer's just great. And the guy looks at you and goes, the hell's a Weezer? Weezer? What are you talking about?
Guys,
that's the real world.
Guys, some of you guys met me on the tour, right? For 4 years, I'm traveling around the country.
And they still haven't recovered.
Not joking, guys. And you guys know this. I literally cannot walk 10 feet without someone wanting a picture or something. And that's great and wonderful. But I literally go outside of that bubble and then no one knows who I am. And quite frankly, in my new home in Hot Springs, because I just went to the Rotary Club because of a friend, no one cares. You had a job, cool job, worked with the president, cool job. No one cares. Not to say that it's not a good thing. No one cares. They got jobs. They got stuff to do.
Right.
All right. Got me going. This is going to be a good show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Please share. Now, don't just say that you shared, but please share the link to the show. We can tell if you shared, We can tell. Aaron, like Aaron. See, Aaron, we can tell if you shared. We know.
I like Aaron.
We know. Of course, we love Aaron. All right. Therese is here. Let's see. Stella's here. Oh, good. Daniel, of course. Hey, Larry made it again. Great.
Oh, Larry.
Good. Let's see who else is
here.
Cheryl's here.
Wait, Larry's here. We talked about Larry today in the TikTok video I did today.
Jane is here. Very good, from Holland, Michigan. All right. We got a good crowd going here. Good, guys. Share this. Just share it out there, and we can tell. We can tell if you're sharing. Someone shared.
Dave is like the dad. If you didn't brush your teeth, we could check with the FBI.
That's right. Debbie's here. Good.
Guys, we know Cash Patel. We can do a data search. No, all right. You ready to go? We got so much to cover.
Wait till you hear this first story about the Bitcoin ATMs.
All right. Here we go, guys. The dispatch starts now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for going to georgemagazine.com and getting the dispatch. It's free. You just go there, you sign up. This is the lead story today. The Bitcoin machine on the corner was always a flawed promise, and this is from a guest writer. We're talking about these machines. You can see it there in certain convenience stores, other places. You can see them. It's kind of like an ATM. It is an ATM, but it's like Bitcoin. Dave, you want to give us a little rundown on what this article and this guest commentary said regarding this, because it's a crazy story.
All right. So here's how it goes. Bitcoin Depot had these ATMs, which were regular ATMs, but they also could trade your cash for Bitcoin and vice versa.
Okay.
So they found distributors across the country, but let's say in certain areas they had a distributor, and the way that distributor got the agreement to distribute Bitcoin ATMs was because, let's say, they were already involved in financial services and had set up maybe 30 or 40 stores with credit card machines, right?
Right.
And these are like small little grocery stores or delis or whatever. And they would set them up with the credit card machines. So they would present that resume to Bitcoin Depot, and Bitcoin Depot would work out an agreement with them that they would be the distributor in a certain area, and they would put their ATMs into these stores. Okay. So here's where it starts to allegedly get wacky. So, of course, things start going wrong. Customers have a problem converting to Bitcoin. They didn't get their cash out. The store owner has a problem. The machine goes down, whatever it is. So, of course, the store owner calls the distributor who put the machine into place. And the distributor would call Bitcoin Depot. Now, what Bitcoin Depot would do is say, well, if we have to go out there and fix the machine, and the implication was that if they have to go out there and fix the machine, then that store would be removed from the distributor's residual list. So they would lose the
little shaving, the cutting.
Right. So of course, then what starts happening is the distributors, because they don't want to lose the locations, start traveling to the various locations like constantly. I mean, it's time, it's gas, and everything else for very little money. And then Bitcoin Depot declares bankruptcy.
Okay.
And hold on a second, one more point. And the owner-founder allegedly is also one of the creditors. So he lined himself up as a creditor ahead of the distributors who all owed money. So it's a wacky situation.
So just understand it, like, and let's do it to like a bubblegum machine, because I know that my dad had a store, and then these bubblegum people said, if we could put this bubblegum machine in your store, we'll give you X amount when we collect or whatever. Got what the arrangement. But basically, this Bitcoin Depot found distributors that said, if you could find a place to place these things, you'll get a cut of it. Is that like basically what's going on?
Yeah, well, it's called residuals. So if you set up a store and you call it in, and you set up the machine in the store and whatever. So as this machine gets used, obviously the store owner makes a profit, right? But you get a certain percentage residual of all the transactions.
All right.
As a distributor.
All right. So that's what's going on here now. So you guys know this has been a point of contention in many state governments, because they're saying, hey, we're getting ripped off, because you don't have to be involved with Bitcoin or crypto. But as you do this, what ends up happening is your real money is exchanged for crypto or whatever, and it caused a lot of crime. Okay, here we go to watch this one right here.
We introduce you to some of those victims, including Janice Peltz of Chelmsford. A scammer convinced her she was the victim of bank fraud, and she withdrew $18,000 in cash from her bank and deposited it into a Bitcoin ATM. Peltz eventually got her money back from Bitcoin Depot, but most people aren't so lucky. AARP is pushing for a total ban on the machines in Massachusetts. Bitcoin Depot is out of the picture, but does that mean this is over?
Not at all. I think it just speaks to how big an issue this is, and we plan to keep working on pushing our ban. We know, according to the latest FBI data, that over $19,000 a day leaves the Commonwealth through fraudulent means.
So on top of the distributors having these problems and everything else, then you have these scammers. And Gene, we talked about this the other day on one of the shows, right?
Yeah.
So you have these scammers that would call up elderly people and tell them that their bank account has been compromised. They're calling as their bank.
Right.
Their bank account has been compromised, and we need you to withdraw all of your money immediately. And keep it in a safe place. So they might say, well, where should I keep the money? Okay, go down to the local gas station. They have a Bitcoin ATM, and after you withdraw your money from the bank, convert it into Bitcoin, and here's a QR code that you can that you can go to, and that's where you enter. That's what you enter into the Bitcoin ATM, and it'll be safe. It'll be safekeeping for your money until we sort out your bank.
And there's other scams. I think I detailed in one of the shows. Someone called my dad up. It was with voice recognition, not voice recognition, but like it sounded like my nephew. And there they said, "Hey, go, I'm in jail. I need some money." And my dad was automatically like, "What in the world?" He called my sister. But think about this. You know, your child's or your grandchild is in jail. And so he's thinking like, okay, just go down to the street. There's this Bitcoin. We'll tell you what to do, and then we'll let him out or whatever. And they're preying on these people, and now that there's a lot of attention on there. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know what it is? These people have the ability to spoof phone numbers. So you're looking at your phone,
right,
the phone is ringing. You look at your phone, and it says Bank of America.
Right. Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you answer the phone call and say, "Oh, is this Mr. So and so or Mrs. So and so?" Yes, this is Bank of America. We're calling because your account has been compromised, and we're trying to sort it out. But to have you mitigate your losses, you know, already saying you have losses, we need you to withdraw all your funds immediately.
Right.
And, you know, people get rattled.
Yep. Guys, we have been talking about this for quite a while here, but if you understand, and this is not just about Bitcoin or whatever, understand how this new form of payments and what they mean, XRP, how that works with the Clarity Act. We're talking about stable coins, we're talking about wallets. So just go ahead and check it out, the crypto playbook, and get the updates, because
yes,
as you've seen the show, we've been walking everyone through the Clarity Act and how it's tied in with XRP, which makes it viable for that because of with the ledgers and so forth. Okay.
Right. Please get the crypto book. Please understand how all of the cryptocurrencies work and the wallets and so forth, and how you can operate all of that. So if anything like this happens to you, you'll know right away, oh, well, I know not to do that.
Right. And how they're traced and how they're not traced, everything is wonderful.
Right. Now, hold on, Gene, because I'm very upset here. I'm very upset here with Trish. Trish writes, "Let's go Yankees. Hopefully we win." Trish, what are you doing?
Trish, the manager of the Mets.
The Mets are fired. I don't know what to do about these people.
Moderators, please boot Trish. All right, we love Trish. All right, Dave. While we're at it, let's just go right into this. While we're all pissed off already.
All right, here we go. Biolabs.
Okay, this is from the Dispatch. This is a George Magazine article. Secret biolabs or coordinated lies, unmasking the Ukraine conspiracy. Dave, I don't know how many times we need to tell people about propaganda, but this has already been debunked many times, and it's coming back with this. The thought that there are biolabs in Ukraine by the way, because they are, but they're for like medical or whatever. And but we're talking about these biolabs. They're not weapons labs. They're not making weapons, and people are tying it in with the United States.
Yeah.
Where do you think it's coming from? Basically,
it's all Russian propaganda. The Russians use this whole story. They push propaganda onto the dummies of the MAGA influencer network, who gladly swallowed it and ran with this because it was kind of anti-Joe Biden and anti-Hunter Biden and all of that. So they glommed onto that as a means to get more views. And all Russia was doing is hyping that up as a means for invading Ukraine.
Right.
And that's it. Hold on a second. Instead of saying, listen, we just want that great Ukrainian land.
Right. Filled with war.
NATO back, and we want to be on Poland's. But instead of that was the reasoning. They said, oh, they're eating babies And they're doing this biolabs. We have to go in there. We have to clean it up.
I'll just say, sometimes you see people get divorces, right? And rather than one of the parties say, I met this person, I really like him, I want to be with him, right? They can't just say it. They just can't say that. Instead, they have to say, oh, well, you know what? They have this, and they're doing this, and they're doing this. You realize that they just made this up out of thin air because they could not just say, you know what? Ukraine has all those rare earth minerals, can make a lot of money. Let's go invade them. I would actually appreciate that. At least they're being honest with it. But to say that there's biolabs, they're saving the children. All right. Let me show you this. Go ahead, please.
And now the Ukrainians are beating the daylights out of the Russians. And the Russians are not going to use any kind of a nuclear weapon.
Right.
They wouldn't dare do that, because that would be the end of St. Petersburg and Moscow. They'd be over.
They're already hitting them with drones. They're hitting them with drones.
They're hitting them with drone swarms.
Yeah. That
are overwhelming the Russian defense.
Yeah. All right.
It's something.
Okay.
Good thing we got that big ocean between us and them.
Guys, watch this video now. I'm going to show you later on how some Democrats are good people. I know in this is like, oh, everyone's a Democrat's evil. Everyone's a Republican's good. Even though we did how they are hypocrites. We shown on this show. But watch what they're saying. This is during the Biden administration 4 years ago. Here we go.
The Russian accusations are absurd. They're laughable. And, in the words of my Irish Catholic grandfather, a bunch of malarkey. There's nothing to it. It's classic Russian propaganda. And I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't give it a drop of ink worth paying attention to.
Yeah, but can you explain to us has there been any relationship between the?
We are not developing biological or chemical weapons inside Ukraine. It's not happening.
And there's proof. I mean, there's proof all over the place. We presented a litany of it in that article, and there's more. I mean, you could write a book on this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. This is just propaganda.
Guys,
right. I mean, these Russians are crazy. It's like almost everything that they're doing, they're blaming somebody else. The bioweapons, guaranteed Russia's using bioweapons. Stealing children. The Russians are stealing and trafficking children.
Right. Okay. Perfect timing, because I want to say this, and this is from the day before when Tracy was on the show. But to me, when someone says, well, let me play this and I'll go in, because it has to do with the Russian propaganda bit. Here we go. Let's watch this. You don't see where that's coming from? Why does Gene Ho never say anything bad about China? Ever say like, oh, translation, the one Chinese guy in all of MAGA, he's shilling for China. He's shilling for China. Oh, here's something. I got this. This will settle it. You just got me pissed off too soon. Every single one of you that said that, I bet you every single one of you never got approved by Secret Service to be next to the President of the United States of America. I bet you anything. All of you guys that say that I'm a Chinese shill or whatever, because that's translation. Oh, Gene Ho never says anything bad about China. Have any of you ever got approved and got one of these things from the Secret Service to say, this guy is okay to be next to the President of the United States of America?
Not one of those people saying that could ever get next to the president.
Right. Dave,
that's some really good cover.
What my point is with this, all right, Dave, all right, is this. When we talked about child sex let me get it straight. When we talked about crimes against humanity, taking children and setting them up for adoption in Russia, has any one of these on there said anything? even if you're not being paid by Russia, you won't, because you will never be invited to any of their circuit of their MAGA shows where there's like 5 people, whatever, like talk about it, because they'll say, whoa, this person, you can't have them on the show because they'll talk about this. Say something bad about Russia. Try it. Try it.
Won't. They never will.
Right.
They'll never say anything bad about Russia. And we say stuff bad about Russia all the time. We talk bad about China all the time.
We talk
China,
bad
the currency manipulator. They're trying to take over the South China Sea. They're not going to stop with Taiwan. They'll want to move on to the Philippines and so on. We talk about China all the time, but China's not pushing propaganda onto the dummy MAGA people.
When they said this, we never talk about child sex trafficking or whatever. I'm the one who brought it out, but it has to be documented. Like the musician at Bob Joyce's church, who is now convicted. You see how that's different? Is before that, and I've been talking about it, but they can't talk about it. But now it's conviction, so now it's an official thing. You see how that's different? You see how we're telling things that are going on? But you're the one telling me that we're not talking about that. We talked about it with Russia. We talked about it in Bob Joyce's church, that when the guy was playing with my son in the band. Right? See what you uncovered? You talk about that. Now I got to prove it that I did talk about it. There you go.
Now, Mint Julep brings up an interesting question. Why would Trump let Tulsi announce that? Okay. Because Tulsi didn't actually announce anything that is new. There's nothing new or revealing or anything about what she brought out. She just did it in a spin that makes it sound bad. But the truth of it, if you dig into everything, is exactly what we have in that article.
Guys,
it's not happening.
There's biolabs all over the United States, but they're for medical, that you need them. But they're not. Guys, one more thing, and then we'll move on. These biological weapons
I agree with Phil.
Hey, I should have worn I have my dark MAGA shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. It's all good. We got the point. Let's move on to socialism.
No, but this is good. This is we talk bad. Listen, if something's going on that's going wrong, we're gonna bring it out.
All right.
We don't hide from anything.
Action Jackson, who was endorsed by Trump, right? Now no one could even say, "Oh, you're afraid to go against Trump." No, we called him out because he was wrong. We're talking about Jackson Lawmeyer, right? What happened the next day? Trump endorsed him.
Right.
All right? All right, let's do this. Let's talk about socialism. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
All right. Socialist wave causing voters to wake up and leave the Democratic Party in key swing states. Now, this is
you know what I love about this Mamdani.
Yeah.
Couldn't make that third letter another N, huh? All right. So the best thing about these people is they get into office. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. We're going to give you everything. Then they get into office and go, hey, the money's not there. We can't do it.
We knew we said that.
They just gloss it right over.
Right. All right. Watch here's what it is. In America, there are Republicans or conservatives, and then there's liberals. But not everyone in there. Me and Dave Blaze have called some of these Kennedy Democrats, where they're like, all right, they like the programs and all this stuff, but they're reasonable. All right, let's look at what the polling is saying here. Here we go.
Talk about democratic socialists.
Yeah.
How were they perceived?
You know, I will tell you, there is a reason why Republicans nationwide are licking their chops and why there are at least some Democrats who are a little bit worried, because what is true in New York City in a Democratic primary ain't necessarily true nationwide with the general electorate. I mean, just take a look here. Net favorable rating of Democrat Socialists. If you look at Democrats nationwide, look at this. Democrat Socialists are on the positive side of the ledger at plus 17 points. This includes Democratic-leaning independents. But look at all voters. A completely different world. 27 points underwater Democratic Socialists of America are in the net favorable rating. So what are we talking about? A 44-point difference here in the wrong direction when we come to Democratic Socialists of America, jumping from being pretty popular among Democrats to being not popular at all among all voters.
Again, this is the echo chamber.
Right.
The the socialists are in their own echo chamber. They think everything is when they've won a couple of elections in New York because the people are just tired of their politicians. This goes on all the time.
Right. Dave, we were talking earlier about this. When all this stuff happened with Donald Trump early on, and I was there, on my Facebook feed, you had people saying, like that. There was people saying, "Oh, I can't stand Gene Ho's talking about Trump and everyone else," and they unfriended everyone on the Facebook feed. So there's only people that agree with him politically, which whatever you want to do. But people on the MAGA side did the same thing to the liberals. They just like got rid of them and everything. And then you're in what we call an echo chamber, and it's even worse when you have some of these QAnon types. Now we're not talking about the people that are reasonable, but these whack of the whack, right? When they say something that's obviously proven cannot be, right? One of them said James Comey is actually an actor. He's been executed at a Gitmo. And it's like, the guy's 7 feet tall. Where are you going to find an actor? Or like, oh, he's got cloned or whatever. So what happens is you go into an echo chamber and everyone else around you is saying, oh, yes, I agree. This is great. Was that great? But you end up in an echo chamber, and that's what happened here.
I don't know why are they keeping the med beds in Cheyenne Mountain so secluded that nobody really ever gets to use them?
Guys,
I mean, Queen Elizabeth couldn't use them. They won't let Paul McCartney in, obviously.
Right. Who are they giving? Who's using them? Really? Think about that.
I want to know who's in those med beds. I don't think. I'm starting to think there aren't any med beds, Gene. Starting to think there might not be any med beds.
All right. Let's go.
Daniel makes a great point. Most people I know don't listen to each other. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Most people, when people are talking to you, they could care less about what you're saying. They're just, while you're speaking, they're thinking about what they're going to say next.
All right. What I want to say is we got to get to next to this program.
Good.
All right. All right. Okay. Love this. The guys, if you see the video, I'm going to play it in a second. Freedom 250 Great American State Fair kicks off. You can read all about this. All of this stuff, this beautiful American 250. And just reported, Dave, you know that Trump is going to be back at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he's going to be back at Rushmore. There's a lot of that could be said, you know, and that's why you have these people, these lunatic maniacs that are online that talk about you and how you know, they're saying that, oh, he was never Trump's photographer, he was never this, he was never that, and everything. Meanwhile, you got credentials all like coming out of your ears,
right?
You know, but and that doesn't matter,
right? Oh, by the way,
some gym teacher says, well, no, it was, I looked into that and I connected all the dots. And I found out that
then what happened afterwards, we came out with this, and this is what we're going to talk about. And guys, Trumpography, if you got it, and it's wonderful, has a lot of stories. Okay, what happened was when the Trumpography came out before this, everything was still in motion. So there's certain photos that I could not show, or I chose not to show. All right, look at this.
Brad's trying to say that's his IQ, and nobody believes that.
All right, guys, let's watch this video from today. It got a lot of play. It's been really wonderful.
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right, how long have I been saying this, that Donald Trump would be back at Mount Rushmore with fireworks? I don't know, maybe since the last time I was there. I was there in 2020 with Donald Trump Jr. as his photographer for the campaign. Now, what was just announced? Right here, we have Donald Trump returning to Mount Rushmore for the 250th anniversary. Now, the last time Donald Trump was there, it was July 3rd. The moon cycle that day was not quite full, but it was full minus just a little bit off the moon. Now, the interesting thing with this is that JFK Jr., in the Survival Guide to the Future, you'll see Mount Rushmore, and on top of that, you'll see a moon, but the moon is not a full moon. It's slightly off. And we know that because the graphic designer that worked for that issue was told to do it that way from JFK Jr. And today, that same graphic artist works for today's George magazine, the reboot and the relaunch. Now, here's the thing with that. In georgemagazine.com, you could get this publication, never seen before images of Donald Trump that I took, limited edition, only 1776 copies, and I sign each one. There are plenty of pictures of Donald Trump that you have never seen there. But what's of interest is not only this picture of Mount Rushmore that I took when I was in Mount Rushmore on July 3rd, but also you got to check out the presidential quotes. There's one from Kennedy, and there's one talking about being a peacemaker. And you'll see how all of this comes together with the calendar. Go to projectlookingglass.org, and also make sure you go to georgemagazine.com and get your limited edition America's 250th.
That's fantastic.
And you know what, guys? Once again, if you have not gotten it yet, and I know this because Dave's been on me probably like all day yesterday and all day today to get these things signed. Another shipment just came to me, and I got to get them out and signed. And that's the difference. Is see, I got to hear from Dave.
Do it. I know it's monotonous and everything else, but you got to do it.
Yep.
Hey, Brad. You know we love Brad. Brad's a good guy, terrific guy, and yes,
Brad, I'm going to wear my Hello George shirt, 529.
We know that. And we know IQs don't go up to 529 unless you're the flowers for Algernon guy.
Okay. Let's do this. First of all, by the way, thank you so much. If I could just say this really quick, because I've been working on it all day long.
Oh, yes. Say that.
Okay. This is George Jr. I'm just going to show you one thing with this. Let me find it because I want to talk about it. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. No. This is good. Okay. There's this chapter here on how you can earn money this summer, and it's for young children. And there's all these ideas here to share, and we listed it all. Okay, it's all there, guys. Please, we Dave Blaze and I spent a lot of time on this magazine. I won't say it's not worth it. I won't say that. It is worth it because I do an article in here. We do a lot of, not a lot of them, but in there are Bible type articles in there. We spend a lot of time on these things. We feel like it's we feel like it's a way to give to the younger generation with sharing the Lord, and then there's stuff they can use, but at the same time build that foundation. Guys, if you're a George subscriber or not, subscribe to it, get it. Get it, and then look through it, pace through it, and it's a great way to go to a nursing home, a doctor's office, a dentist's office, and just leave it there. All right, it's good for society. All right,
this is what's contained in the George Jr. magazines is what children are not being taught through even the better curriculums.
Right.
It's information that they're just not going to learn in school, and we're putting it into into language that they can easily understand.
Right. And if you guys seen any of my other shows, like the Gene Ho show and everything, so you know I read this magazine because it trains my mind to explain things simply. What you got there? Your cat?
Yeah, Pumpkin's over here. You know, he finished his first dinner, so now he's looking for his. See, that's right. So now he's looking for his second dinner, and he's sitting next to me, going, "Come on, come on."
All right. Hey guys,
would I go through Stella?
Okay, guys.
Daniel.
Let's
he's hungry. All right.
Let's do this. This part of the show here. We want to do the devotional here.
Yes.
Guys, I listen to it every morning. You get it from the dispatch. I click on it, and I'll be honest, okay? It's on another window. I'm not sitting there but it's playing, and I'm listening to it, and I see it. So today's was particularly good, probably one of my favorites, and I'm going to play it for you here. Just check it out. Here we go.
Imagine a vast, interconnected ecosystem, a structure built on a cosmic scale. This is the great house of God, the church, and its foundation was secured with the blood of Christ. The design of this house has a specific end goal. It is being washed by the word, engineered to be presented as a glorious, holy structure without spot, wrinkle, or any blemish. But when we zoom in past the overarching architecture, we find that the building blocks of this structure are people. Every individual member operates as a distinct vessel placed inside this great house. Because of the price paid for this building and its future as a holy temple, your specific role inside it matters. The utility of each vessel determines how effectively the master can use what he has purchased. Here is the tension built into this system. It is possible to gain entry into the great house, being saved as if escaping through fire, yet remain completely unused by the master. A stark contrast exists between the vessels. A vessel of honor is sanctified and prepared for good work, while a vessel of dishonor sits idle, offering no utility to the household. So, what exactly separates the two? What specific mechanisms turn a passive occupant of the house into a highly useful vessel of honor? Mere entry into the system is just the baseline. For the believer, active, honorable utility is the ultimate objective. This dynamic blueprint maps out the process. Becoming a vessel of honor starts with remaining continually strong in the grace found in Christ Jesus. As it expands, the believer must endure hardship with the discipline of a soldier and rigorously study the word of truth. Finally, to maintain honor, the vessel must make a deliberate, active departure from iniquity. Achieving the status of a vessel of honor is the direct output of these behavioral inputs. By meeting these requirements, a servant prepares themselves for the master's use and ensures they will be honored by the Father. But human beings fail. What happens when a vessel becomes marred or fails to execute this blueprint? The prophet Jeremiah reveals that God is the great potter, intervening with marred clay to begin a process of reshaping. This is how grace functions for the believer. When the clay is marred, it is not discarded from the house, but placed back on the wheel to be reworked for utility. Past failures do not permanently disqualify you from service. The potter's workshop operates as a cycle of constant restoration for any vessel in his hands. If we pivot back to the macro scale, a fascinating question emerges. What would happen if the majority of vessels in this house actively chose to follow that blueprint? As a unified pillar and ground of the truth, the church would grow into a holy temple, functioning with a collective strength that exceeds human imagination. The grand potential of the entire church is directly connected to the daily obedience of the individual believer. The macro structure relies entirely on these micro actions. It is time to look at what you have in Christ rather than focusing on your hardships. You are a joint heir in this great house, and God pays well for the service of those he honors. But there is a foundational requirement to enter this house. You are saved and sealed by believing the gospel. Christ died for our sins, he was buried, and rose again the third day. This decision carries immediate urgency. The window of time to act is short. Believe the truth today. Submit to the potter's hands and take your place as a vessel of honor in the great house of God.
Wow. One of my favorite, I have several of them, but one of my favorite ones, and this was very encouraging and good. All right. Wonderful. Okay.
So in case anybody was wondering, Pumpkin, because I didn't jump up and give him something other than what's already in his bowl sitting right behind me, was forced to eat the delicious fancy feast with a delectable chowder mixed into it. He's so rotten.
All right.
All right.
Let's wrap up this show. We got two more great parts here. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Well, it means a lot because it's like no one's doing this. Well, people are, but like in media, they say.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this. In the Dispatch, Wall Street is finally banned from buying your house. And we're talking about the truth behind the 2026 real estate bubble. Now, there's a lot going on because there is a bill sitting on Donald Trump's desk waiting to be signed. 21st century something roads or something, but
yeah, Road to Housing Act.
Okay.
It's big. It basically keeps giant Wall Street firms from buying up a lot of housing and then trying to rent them out later, because right at this moment anyway, the United States lacks inventory. Yep. We don't have the inventory of housing, and that's due to a lot of things. It's due to a growing older population.
Right.
It's due to rising interest rates. So, people that are older, nobody's looking to move.
Right. And we have
if you want to wish the worst thing on your enemy, a lifetime of moving people.
All right.
There you go.
Let's watch this video. This video here is great, but it only shows a portion of it because, like I said, the interest rates that are so low when they went in, they don't want to exchange it. But here we go.
A rare bipartisan breakthrough Thursday.
The yeas are 89, the nays are 10. The bill as amended is passed.
The Senate passing the largest piece of housing affordability legislation in a generation.
This is the biggest package of bills to make housing affordable in 30 years.
The 21st Century Road to Housing Act includes dozens of provisions intended to increase housing supply and lower prices.
This landmark bipartisan bill will help tackle the root cause of this crisis by getting more homes built in every community across this country.
Yeah, it's going to be great for America. And what's going on is some of these big companies, they'll buy the whole area and then jack the prices up because they're so people can't get the.
Well, they don't even. Well, Gene, actually, when they buy up a lot of housing, they don't have to jack the price up. The prices naturally go up because there's less inventory.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So you got people offering higher and higher prices on these homes. I mean, it's not a good situation. So it's good to see that this is happening. It'll bring the price of houses down and interest rates along with it.
Guys, let's finish up this show today, and thank you very much for joining us on a Friday. Is it bionic? It's like the $6 million man. Bionic hands are now teaching robots to feel. And one of the things we want to talk about this is we talked about how AI is going to, and working hand in hand with 6G, and we were one of the first to bring it out because Dave Blaze is on part of it with his company with 6G and everything.
6G is coming.
Yeah.
6G is coming, right? There's no doubt about that. But, it's true. these robots, like, oh, hi, robot, shake my hand, and next thing you know, you got like a hand that looks like this.
All right. This is goes hand in hand, this article, with what we talked about not too long ago. Here we go.
There's going to be so much medical advancement through AI, Gene, and I know you were just saying this, but there is going to be so much medical advancement in all sorts of diseases, things that we never even thought that could be corrected will be able to be corrected. That's why the importance of not only the artificial intelligence, but then at the same time, the coming in of 6G, which will give all of this, it'll increase communication between doctors, hospitals all over the world. It'll be unbelievable.
More than that, and we, George Magazine, put in the forefront, 6G will have holograms. So
there is going to be so much medical.
All right. So again, it's like we are in a society where we fear technology. And I know this when 5G came out, like seriously, everyone was like, oh my goodness, it's going to give everyone cancer. It's going to zap you or whatever. Yep. 6G is on the horizon. And that's why we constantly say, stay in touch with what we are talking about here. And I want to mention this with our AI book, Ageless Tech. Just understand how all this technology is coming into play. With this.
Right. Nobody's putting information out there like this. I mean, even if you went to Barnes and Noble, even if you went anywhere, you're not going to find easy to follow guides on AI. It's just not going to. It's just that doesn't happen. But we want you people to be prepared. We want you to be educated in all of these things so you have a greater awareness. So,
Okay. Guys, if you could, again, and I really want to talk about this, if you could go to George Jr. Magazine and consider getting the annual subscription to this. We put in a lot of time with it. And I'm just going to say it is fine, but it's one of those things where we look at it as like, okay, well, what is it as a business? What do we do? This is a labor of love. So
it really is.
My throat. Okay. All right. Dave Blaze, anything else you want to say? We got
no. Everybody have a great weekend. We love you all. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for sticking with us. You guys are the absolute best. You're educated. You know what's up. And we appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, guys. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday, God willing.
Monday, Lord willing.
Yes. Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to go to georgemagazine.com and sign up for the Dispatch. It's free. Get the emails and the news stories. And check us out Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.